lesson. A lesson which is going to help us remember an important concept that we've already learned and practiced about finding the area and the perimeter of parallelograms, which is just one special quadrilateral we should know a lot about. So make sure your name and date goes on that first, if you haven't done that already. Okay, 3 to 5 minutes due on your own before we discuss it. And again, we're just practicing something we already know here, that's area and perimeter of a parallelogram. See how we do on our own before we check our work with a partner. Please remember to show all of your work. You can't really have a great conversation with your partner, check your work with your partner's help, unless you have work that you can show them. When your work is shown, it really helps you to have a great conversation with the partner when you're discussing and going over it. Don't forget to read the directions. It's a good idea sometimes to go back and read the directions more than once. Make sure you're answering all parts of the question. It's good to be able to identify that those two values are the same. Excellent job. I can see a lot of accurate work with our decimal point, where we put it. Careful about that. Be careful about where that decimal belongs. Think about that answer, that value. Okay? Think about what we're trying to find out about that shape. Think about that value. Think about how much our answer makes sense or doesn't make sense. Make sure you show all of your work. Make sure you do it neatly. It's the work that we do for a question that really helps us discuss it with another student. Check all your work. Take a few extra minutes. Just about another minute. It looks like most of us certainly have at least number 1 done. Some of us have number 2 done and are working on it. Just about 1 more minute, so use your time wisely. If you haven't finished, do as much as you can in that minute. If you have, you can quietly check your work and wait for the rest of us. Yes, Stanley. You want me to check it? We're going to have time if you can do that with another student, okay? The work looks very neat. I think you'll have a good chance of discussing with a partner. All right, another 5 seconds. Give me your attention, please. So we know that's not a lot of time. I don't want to catch anybody off guard. Take just a few more seconds and then give your attention to me. So basically, I want the eyes, your ears, and your brains focused on me. And not just looking at me, not just pretending like you're listening to me because you're looking at me, but your brains are actually thinking about what I'm saying, right? I think we all have had that experience where you can look at somebody and it really looks like you're looking at them and listening and paying attention, but your mind's somewhere completely else. You're thinking about the NFL draft last night. Like, why did my favorite team pick that bum, you know, kind of thing. And you really should be thinking about only what I'm saying, right? That's why I like to say eyes, ears, and brains. All right, here's what I want you to do. We're going to go over the right and wrong answers in a few minutes together as a class, but firsthand, what you're going to do is you're going to discuss it with a partner, same partners you used before lunch, okay? Let's focus on just first of all, number one, I don't want to take too much time on this. Just number one, make sure that you and your partner discuss it. Look for what you guys have in common. Okay? Do you have the same answer for the perimeter and the area for the first parallelogram? If you do, great. That's strong evidence that you got it right. Okay? If it's different, that's what we really want to focus on. That's why we really want to look at each other's work, maybe change papers and think about why are our answers different? Where did we do our work differently? Okay? And then through that process, maybe we can identify a mistake that somebody made and fix it. Okay? No cheating here, just helping each other to understand something better. Okay? Everybody remember the partner from before lunch? Okay, so have good conversations, just about 2-3 minutes. Okay, if you finish number one, you guys both agree, or if you need to make changes and you make them, then go on to number two. All right, and I'll let you guys know when the 2 or 3 minutes is up. All right? Great job so far. So I heard somebody's conversation with you. That's a good starting point, right? But that's not all we want to talk about, right? Because for the first, I'm sorry. Right, you also want to talk about how you get, now do you guys all have the same answer? Okay, for what, for the perimeter? So let's talk about how, okay? The strong evidence that you two agreed, and maybe you guys did the same thing. You know, he might be the right one that's right. You guys might be the mistake, right? It happens all the time.
What?
You guys finished discussing number one? Is that the one you haven't finished? Or did you finish this one? So 81 and 0.10 feet squared tells us what about parallelogram? What value is that? That answers what question? And what I'm trying to point out is that there's 2 questions we want to answer for number 1. Right? So he has 2 different answers. He has this value and this value, but no units. It's missing units. Okay? Right, so this value tells me what about the parallelogram? Which? The area or the perimeter? Area. So we want to also work on identifying the perimeter of the value. Okay? So you need to kind of complete that with his help together, and you also want to make sure that you aren't missing your units anymore. If your answers are incomplete, don't really tell me everything I need to know about the answers without the units. Because 81 inches is totally wrong. 81 feet. Okay? So you guys finish the conversation? You guys agree on all the answers? You guys come up with them all the same way? So that's strong evidence that what? Yeah, it's probably pretty strong evidence, right? Without even having any teacher tell you that it is right?
16.
Just one more minute. If you haven't finished your conversations, use a minute to try to do so. If you have, you just wait quietly for the rest of us to catch up. If you haven't finished in that minute, that's fine.
Yeah, I got that.
We're going to all 4 answers, all 4 values, are the same? Did you guys find them all the same way? You don't know. What have you been doing? You guys are 20. You'll realize at one time when you're my age, people your age, you're going to realize that this is the age of people that say, I don't know, for a lot of reasons, right? And you really know the answer. Probably better than you think. So good job. I'm glad you guys all agree on the answers, which is strong evidence that they're correct. Okay? The odds, all 4 of you getting all 4 of the same wrong answers, is probably greater than the odds in the lottery. I don't know. Probably pretty crazy. All right. 5 seconds. I'd like your attention again, please. And just to keep us more focused on the time, both questions really had us practicing on the same skill. Okay, so let's just kind of go over one. And we really identify that we feel confident that we found the proper area for the first figure in the area, then that's probably pretty good evidence for ourselves that we also did same for number 2.